FCT residents fume over petrol hike, and Delta State tricyclists protest. Ariwa Consultative Forum apologizes to the North for failing in crisis. Flood kills 31 persons, destroys over 5,000 houses across 21 local government areas in Kano. On the foreign scene, migrant boat capsizes, 1 dead, 22 missing in Libya. Hello and welcome to State. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. The pump price of petrol was sharply increased across Nigeria on Tuesday, with prices now ranging from 855 naira in Lagos to 897 naira in Abuja at major petrol stations, while the independent petrol stations are charging between 959 naira and 1,000 naira per litre. In this report, Neil Sampson speaks with commuters, private car owners and commercial drivers about the immediate impact of the price hike, particularly in parts of the Federal Capital Territory.
The usually bustling roads of the Federal Capital Territory are now noticeably empty, with significantly fewer cars and commuters. Many car owners, both commercial and private, have opted to leave their vehicles at home due to the recent fuel price hike, while others are seen queuing at stations offering slightly more favorable prices. A stark example is the Area 1 shopping plaza, typically a hive of activity, which was unusually quiet today. FCT residents in conversations emphasize the severe impact this fuel price adjustment is having on the general population.
In short, even the route that we usually take for 100, 200 now, this morning while coming out, I was charged 300, 400 naira. And one painful thing is the income have not increased, but yet the expenditure is increasing day by day.
It's affected because even us we have our own car where we queue for money in the morning. I bought fuel yesterday around 4 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the evening. And even how much will you buy? And if your budget, you have a budget of 10,000 naira, what the 10,000 naira drive you? 10,000 naira fuel cannot drive you from here now to Kubwa, or we say.
Price of food items are increasing. Everything is no longer friendly. So please, we are appealing to the government of the day, government of Tinubu, Mr. Bola Tinubu, to help the masses. It's no longer funny, honestly. The country are in this different situation now.
We spoke to several drivers waiting in line at fuel stations who shared the current petrol prices at the pumps and recounted the challenges they faced before finally securing fuel. The experiences highlighted the growing difficulties amid the recent price hike.
I was not happy because I slept in free station since yesterday night over this morning, and I bought fuel in the MRS at this what they call it, Gadua Junction. So they sell at the rate of 903.
Since yesterday, we sleep for this police station. We dey pray to our country. Make better. So now like this, now they don't increase their own fuel, but this filling station, they are the best. How much you sell that one now? Now they are selling 9 and 9 naira. They are 3 naira. Now they sell now like this.
Are they here around 5:30 in the morning time where we just come up from mosque, CBE prayer? I'm here. Up to now I never see buy.
So how much you sell that one for here?
You are selling for liter 903 naira.
Black market fuel sellers along roadsides have been blamed for contributing to the fuel scarcity by selling at very high prices. However, one of the sellers explained the reasons behind the high prices, shedding light on the challenges they face in obtaining and distributing the products.
Man, I sell 1 liter in full intention, 1,100 naira.
We buy 1 liter from fueling station at 1,100 after they collect 2,000 for each jerrycan in order to get the product. As Nigerians continue to grapple with the economic hardship compounded by the recent fuel price hike, many are appealing to the federal government to reduce the price, hoping for some relief in these challenging times. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Residents of Edo State have decried the negative impact of some of the economic policies of the Tinubu administration on living conditions of Nigerians, especially those in the states. They stated this while reacting to the recent increase in the price of petroleum motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, accusing government of executing anti-people policies since the removal of the oil subsidy. TOS TV's Adama Imam completes the report.
Checks across the state show that majority of filling stations within the metropolis are selling the product at different prices after the alleged announcement of an increment in the pump price. For some residents, the administration needs to change strategy on the economic front in order to make Nigerians feel the impact of governance. Nigerian leaders should at least do what is right and will favor the common man in this country for once. The news of the fuel price increase is very unfortunate because we are managing the little resources we have to move around. But with the increase, we can't even do that again. As a matter of urgency, we call on the organized labor to engage governments and pressurize them to reduce the price of fuel to 200 or 300 naira in the interest of the Nigerian masses.
So many people were celebrating that the government has increased the salaries of the civil servant, which is actually not true. Many of the civil servants are not benefiting from this minimum wage increase. So this hike in petrol price is actually a very, very unfortunate thing which can result so many sufferings within the citizens of this country. So Mr. President actually has to consider this issue.
We'll do the needful and fight for the masses as well as the members of the Nigerian Labour Congress, because it will affect all the aspects of life.
This life is becoming unbearable due to the current hardship in Nigeria. So we are appealing to the government to come to our aid. Anytime the price of fuel increases, our business will be adversely affected because when we go to the market, the prices of food items will soar astronomically.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) says the federal government betrayed the Congress with the recent fuel price, as the union only accepts the 70,000 naira on the ground that Nigerians will not be subjected to a further fuel price increase. Adama Imam, TOS TV News, Bauchi.
Still on the fuel price increase, commuters in Lagos on Wednesday trekked long distances to their destinations following an increase in transportation fares by commercial drivers. The increase followed the scarcity of petrol that has rocked the nation in the past days, as well as the increase in the price of the commodity by marketers. Victoria Tokolo files in this report and presented from our studio.
The recent fuel scarcity, which has hit Lagos among other states across Nigeria, has increased the living cost of many as the ripple effect begins to manifest. As a first consequence, commercial drivers in Lagos had seized the opportunity to hike bus fares, leaving many citizens who cannot afford the new fare price with no choice but to trek to their various destinations.
Many Nigerian people now are using leg to trek to their work. It's not easy. Say everybody, crowd everywhere.
I believe our government are not doing they are doing less of what we are expecting them to do, and then also the way things is now is very hard for people. People are not enjoying themselves. Even with what the income people are collecting is not meeting up with the standard that the standard of society now. Things are very expensive.
Capital Road, before you check down to use our transport location, you're still going to eat. What train did you have again to work? There's no any train left for the person to work. How can people be suffering like this? And we have government. And we are having government and they are not finding any solution to it. It's getting worse every day. It's getting worse every blessed day. This thing is too much, please.
Others who are already struggling to make ends meet, especially with schools about to resume, could not help but lament over the situation.
Most of the NNPC
total mobile vision are very increased their fuel to 8,605 naira. While other vision was to increase their own fuel to no matter 1,000 plus. I don't know where I'm going to this is now. Even the house rate of the country are really increasing. Even Lagos states have all the landlady want to increase their own rent for based on what is going on in the country.
Government can actually do something about the situation going on in the country. This is really affecting. Even people are dying suddenly all because of the situation of the country, and people are suffering, people are dying. Please let the government do something about the issue of this fuel scarcity, and the price of the fuel is very, very high. Please, it's really affecting. We are begging.
I buy this soya 1,250. As one go Agege or Sango, I dey charge my passenger or 1,900. No day. It's a gas day. Everybody ever do like you go waka yourself. That person will want do, we get money, we get 500. You never see more to 500 enter again.
The sudden rise in fuel prices in the state from 585 naira to as high as 950 naira and 1,000 naira in various parts of the state is causing difficulties for motorists and commuters who are urging the federal government to resolve the fuel scarcity as it is negatively impacting both lives and businesses.
Tricycle riders Wednesday take to the street to protest against fuel price hike, disrupting business activities and vehicular movement in Warri South local government area of Delta State. The protesters, who said they are heavily reliant on fuel for their operations, blocked major junctions including the Deco Road Junction, First Marine Gate Junction and the popular Hausa quarters, Ibudu, causing significant disruption to both vehicular movement and local business activities. The demonstration began early in the morning as hundreds of tricycle operators converged on key intersections, creating severe traffic bottlenecks. The blockade of major routes had an immediate impact on the local economy. Shops and businesses in the affected areas reported a sharp decline in customer traffic. Following the intervention, the blocked roads were cleared by early hours of afternoon to allow traffic flow and businesses to resume.
I bought 1,200 this morning. See my keke, 1,200. Passenger the price 100 naira. This is not too much. No work. No only Okada not the work. Where we Nigerians get. See people suffering. See people suffering.
The reason why we are protesting is simply because of the cost of fuel. And not only the cost of fuel, also is concerning, we are dealing with concerning cost of fuel that is affecting you as a chief secretary and also the masses. Because I believe what affects us the masses affect the masses. I mean, what affects us the chief secretary affect the masses also. Because I will not buy fuel for 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 and carry you at the rate of 100 naira or 200 naira.
Because we don't expect to work. Every time we work, they pay and fuel. But the gas fuel now, if you don't work on time, now we want to get paid. So the fact is, they made the fuel come down. Now we want.
This has affected the local people in our territory, especially those who are using transportation, those who are buying fuel, doing it their normal routine business. So due to this fact, they cannot put up to it. For example, fuel now is about 1,000 naira.
Residents of Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, have expressed dissatisfaction with the continuous increase in the price of petrol, which they say has continued and worsened the already harsh living conditions for Nigerians. To this end, they are calling on the federal government to reduce the pump price of petrol, especially the recent hike, which has further exacerbated the hardship in the country. Trust TV's Friday Ibimobowe Peter completes the story.
The NNPC mega filling station in Yenagoa witnessed a long queue as private fuel stations sold petrol at the rate of 1,200 naira, with some others selling for 1,300 naira. Angry commuters described the situation as uncalled for in an oil-producing country and state.
In fact, it's very, very bad because as a citizen of this country, we cannot experience this hardship increase in fuel price every day. You understand? As a citizen of Niger Delta, we are the producing of this oil. We're supposed to have this fuel at lower rate, but today we cannot see the fuel. You can see us on queue waiting for fuel because what we are saying is a slap to the nation. My call to the federal government is to bring down the fuel, the price of the fuel, so that people can have peace in this nation.
The impact is unbearable. I can tell you for free that it's unbearable because everything now in the market has been skyrocketed just because of this little increase. You go to other filling stations, they sell 1, 2, some sell 1,001. It's only that sell for 885 naira, and you can see the queue. Some of us have been here since 5 a.m. in the morning.
Others lamented that they sometimes spent an entire day on the queue only to buy fuel at the rate of 885 naira, adding that sometimes before it gets to their turns, the stations closes operations for the day.
Suffer we dey suffer for here, no be small thing. How you go call NNPC at state government or federal government something? Would they buy 885 naira per litre? And outside, how much your outside you go come sell? My brother, people they suffer. People they suffer. And what did they be saying now? We get this thing then, and now we they suffer pass. Why you go come be like this now? So as if we did like this, when you go leave your house from morning, you go come stay till before you go buy fuel. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Sometimes you know you they buy.
The last time I bought here, I bought at the rate of 595. But presently, somebody is telling me that it's 8 plugs, 800 plugs, something. I don't know the plugs.
The scarcity has deteriorated to the extent that even some private filling stations, despite selling at a much higher price, witnessed long queues. From Yenagoa, Friday, Ebimobu with Peter, reporting for Trust TV News.
From Yenagoa to Imo State, where particularly car owners say they are frustrated with latest and sudden increase in fuel prices at the NNPC filling stations across the state. The increase, according to them, has further jacked up the cost of living, which had already hit the roof due to the removal of subsidy. Trust TV's Ajibade Awofeso has the details.
Motorists were waiting in line for hours to purchase petrol, only to be hit with the news of a price increase on a litre of petrol at most filling stations in the state. With frustration, anger and hopelessness written on their faces, residents are forced to confront the unpleasant consequences of the fuel price increase.
So what I would plead is peace, because we know there is no smoke without fire. This is the fire we are facing. The government are aware of this, but at least let them reduce the flame of the fire, so that it will not burn us off.
It's been very bad because you see what's happening here now. Yes, it's almost, some of us, yes, it's 2 hours. They said they are not selling. But yes, still waiting. So the thing is too bad and so it's affecting us.
While NNPC stations are selling at slightly below 1,000 naira per litre, the majority of stations are selling above 1,000 naira, leading to long queues at the NNPC stations.
It's so painful, you know. Like as you can see, you see a lot of people standing here, a lot of cars queuing up here to get fuel from even approved filling station. NNPC, as you can see, for more than 1 hour or 2, we have been here trying to get fuel, and we are not able to get fuel.
The thing is that nothing takes the government unaware. They already know that this will come, but why is it so? That is the question. Because they say we voted there. So why are they not treating the masses this way? It's unfair. They know what to do. So my plea is let the government do something about it.
Residents lament that the time spent waiting for fuel could have been used for other productive activities, saying their daily routines have been severely affected.
It's appalling. It's painful to waste 4 hours. Now we don't even know if they will sell. So it's annoying. So
does this affect your productivity?
It's affected because currently I'm supposed to be in the market, a care one bush market, so making sales because I'm a salesman. It's affecting my time.
You understand? Yeah, as you can see me, I'm not a small boy. People depends on me. And anything that has hold me down, that has affected me, that has kept me here, has like affected people that are behind me. You understand? So I'm not happy at all.
The situation is becoming increasingly unbearable, prompting calls for urgent action from the federal government led by President Tinubu to address the fuel price hike and provide relief to the masses. Ajibade Awofeso, Trust TV News, Owerri.
The leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and the presidency on Wednesday traded words over what transpired during the negotiation on the minimum wage set at 70,000 naira for workers. NLC President Joe Ajaero had on Tuesday, while reacting to the latest increase in price of petroleum, premium motor spirit, popularly known as petroleum, said President Bola Tinubu deceived them during the negotiation. The Labour leader specifically said President Tinubu told both the NLC and the TUC leaderships during the negotiation to pick between 250,000 naira and an increase in price of petrol, or accept 70,000 naira, or allow the fuel to remain or be maintained without any increase. The special advisor, or rather spokesperson to the president on print media, Abdulaziz described Ajaero's comments as false, arguing that Tinubu never made such offer to the organized labor. The presidential spokesperson, who claimed that he was at the meeting throughout the period of negotiation, condemned the NLC president, saying Ajaero has started playing dirty politics with emotions of Nigerians. But Ajaero, in his response, maintained that the labor movement stands by its earlier disclosure that the president betrayed them, and by extension, Nigerians at large, for offering them those two options. Ajaero, who reacted through NLC spokesman Benson Uba, described Abdulaziz's denial as amusing. Fresh attack by gunmen in Congo community of Okos local government area of Plateau State has led to the death of 6 persons and injured 1 other individual. Sources from the community who confirmed the incident said the injured victim is in a critical condition and is currently receiving medical attention. Residents of the area said the incident occurred in the community's market around 7 p.m. when the gunmen opened fire on the victims shortly after the market had closed for the day. They added that the unfortunate incident took place when most traders and customers had already left the premises, leaving only very few persons. The incident has created yet another security tension in the area, considering that various communities in Bokos local government have in recent times come under attack. Chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum and Governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya, has condemned the recent attack in Mafa Tarmua local government area of Yobe State. The governor, in a press statement signed on Wednesday by the Director General Press Affairs, Gombe Government House, Ismaila Misili, described the attack as a senseless act of violence that has caused immense grief to the affected families and communities. He commended the security forces for their efforts against the remnants of criminal groups, but emphasized that the need for intensified efforts to track down and apprehend those responsible for the attack. The chairman of the Northern Governors Forum reaffirmed the commitment of Northern governors to supporting efforts aimed at restoring peace and security in the Northeast region, stressing that the importance of collective action to prevent such tragedies from reoccurring. Gunmen suspected to be Boko Haram insurgents looted and set ablaze shops and houses in Mafa local government area. The Area Consultative Forum, ACF, has called for a quick end to insecurity that has been ravaging the northern region for over a decade. The forum made the call at a meeting convened by its board of trustees in Kaduna. Trust TV's Bello Musa has more.
This is a meeting of concerned northerners against the escalating crisis ravaging the country, and northern Nigeria in particular. At the core of the gathering is the view to reinvent and re-strategize the Arewa Consultative Forum to enable it to play the role intended for it by the founding fathers, especially in area of addressing the challenges in the region.
Food production is becoming increasingly difficult as farmlands are abandoned and the farmers are either killed or are fleeing to IDP camps. Whatever it takes, these crises have to end, and end quickly. Our survival depends on it. Destitution and hunger, growing joblessness, especially among the youth, and the twin calamities of Almajiri and street children are all crying for solution. Environmental degradation and crisis of climate change.
With conversations on constitutional amendment dominating some gatherings and many believing that North is shying away from it, the forum expressed readiness for genuine constitutional review in the country.
It is necessary to dispel the impression that the North is or has been shy or is averse to or afraid of any review of the Nigerian Constitution. Nothing can be further from the truth. We must put all and sundry on notice that the North is ready, now and in future, and would be willing to consider any proposals for changing the Constitution as well as administrative structure of Nigeria that may be put on the table. If and when the occasion arises, the North will surely use whatever is available to it in pursuit of its legitimate interests.
Past governors from the region, members of the forum, elders, and other stakeholders from the length and breadth of the North were in attendance at the meeting. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
The Labour Party in Nigeria has nominated a former Minister of Finance, Senator Nenadi Usman, to chair its 29-member National Caretaker Committee. A member of the National Transition Committee formed by the Nigeria Labour Congress, Daniel Gambo, confirmed the development on Wednesday. He stated that Senator Nenadi Usman was nominated during the Labour Party's stakeholders meeting held at the banquet hall of the Abia Government House in Umuahia, the state capital. The stakeholders meeting of the party was convened by the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti. In attendance were Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the party in 2023, and Datti Ahmed Baba Ahmed, his running mate, among several others. Julius Abure and Callistus Okafor, factional chairman of the party, had rejected the call for a stakeholders meeting of the party, declaring it as illegal. Okafor had claimed that some unnamed persons are using the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to validate their, in their words, selfish interests. This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, Imo laundry operators struggle amid ongoing power outages. We'll have more news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Top stories again. FCT residents fume over petrol hike. Delta tricyclists protest. And we told you that ACF apologizes to the North for failing in crisis. Moving to other stories now, 31 persons have been reported killed, while 5,280 houses have been destroyed by flood across 21 local government areas of Kano State. Executive Secretary of the Kano State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Isiaku Kubarachi, made this known while speaking with journalists on Wednesday. He noted that the disaster also led to the destruction of 2,518 farmlands covering 976 hectares of land. Kubarachi added that the flood disaster was as a result of heavy downpour, noting that most of the affected houses were built with mud and sited along waterways. He further highlighted that the flood, which was earlier forecast to affect 14 local government areas, has now affected 21, including Wudil, Gwale, Nasarawa, Dala, Tarauni, Dawakin Tufo, Tofa and Dambata, among several others. The federal government of Nigeria announced in March 2024 that it intends to complete the construction of a section of the over 200 kilometers Abuja-Lokoja-Benin Expressway to reduce travel time, road accidents, and other negative impacts resulting from the road's condition. However, 6 months later, the situation remains much the same. In this special report, Trust TV's Sagir Ibrahim takes on a journey traveling around 100 kilometers on the highway from Abuja to Lokoja to get a first-person view of the experiences of those plying the road.
From the beginning of the drive from Abaji in the FCT, cracks and potholes were generously dotted across different parts of the expressway.
This time we're on the Abuja-Lokoja highway to get a feel of what drivers and residents along the communities of this highway face and experience on a daily basis due to the state of the road. This road is one part of the dual carriageway, but unfortunately it has now become a one-way road due to the fact that the other tranche of the road has some segments of it that is incomplete. Usually drivers will drive up until this point and take a diversion by the side of the road to reconnect back with the other carriage lane to continue with their trip. Unfortunately, there is something to note about this particular junction. So by my side right now is a truck that has derailed into a ditch. This point has become a popular spot for accidents and derailments.
Abdullahi, a resident of Aseni community, says this isn't the first occurrence.
This one way is very difficult because every week accident must happen. A truck came from Gombe State with a full load of goods. This is actually place the truck enter. And that was last 2 weeks. A trailer collided with one bus here. This very.
For lack of a better word to describe it, there are lumps on the road. Drivers would usually contend with the nature of the road as it is and would usually have to drive on really low speeds. Now, if you consider the fact that there was a time when this road was notoriously known for kidnapping and abduction for ransom, it sort of adds to the frustration of drivers who would usually, be in a hurry to leave these areas, especially when they are applying these routes very late in the evenings and of course in the night.
The ridges continue for upwards of 2 kilometers with drivers who seem to have developed muscle memory, mastering the bad spots, turning and swerving around the road diversions without hesitation, thereby making road safety regulations seemingly non-existent. As we approach Kotunkarfi, we see laborers on the segment of the highway used by travelers. Salisu, who says he is a farmer in the community, explained that he and a few others had taken to filling up the damaged portions of the road due to frequent road crashes and damage to vehicles of unsuspecting drivers who weren't familiar with the route. I farm in this community, and on several occasions drivers have had terrible experiences here, from punctured tires, damaged vehicle parts and accidents. Sometimes drivers and their passengers will get stranded late in the night with nowhere to go, all because of this road.
We're still in Kotunkarfi local government, plying the Abuja-Lokoja road. But as you can see, it seems like some sort of construction work is ongoing on this part of the road. Upon speaking with the contractors working currently on the road, they explained to me that the process that's ongoing currently is a scarification process in preparation for the main work. From their explanation, this time the reconstruction is going to be done using reinforced concrete as opposed to the asphalt that was used initially to construct this road.
They explained that following the review of the project by the federal government, the scarification will cover around 47 kilometers from Abaji to Kotunkarfi. We continued our journey beyond Kotunkarfi. The approach was much the same: drivers swerving, turning, diverting and reconnecting to avoid bad patches and minimize damage to their vehicles. Then we reached Ijiho, a community less than 20 kilometers away from Lokoja. As we divert, we notice the other side of the carriageway now serving a different purpose. In the distance, silhouettes of construction workers are visible, while cassava flour, maize, okra, millet, and various other food items are spread across a stretch of the expressway to dry. Mohammed Mustafa, a resident of Ijiho, says locals have grown all too familiar with accidents on this route. He urges the government to act swiftly to address the situation.
The expressway is very, very bad. Every accident is happening every time. It's not by week. Sometimes when the motor is coming, they will not see from far. Sometimes they're coming, this pillar that they keep, they'll come and hit the pillar. Sometimes they will just be speeding, enter a person's house and kill some people. They need to repair our road for us.
Salahu Haruna, a driver who has journeyed through the Abuja-Lokoja Expressway for more than 2 decades, narrated how he had lost 27,000 naira the day before. He says perhaps it wouldn't have happened if the road was in good shape.
We are suffering in this road where it's like every day we are buying tire, shock absorber, especially yesterday because of the bad road. My tire burst. I wanted to back to the closer area to board tire. Can you imagine, on my way coming back, all my passengers left with my money because of the bad road and my tire spoiled. There's no option. I have to go back and buy tire. On my way coming back, I didn't see them. How much did you lose? Almost 27,000 gone. You see construction today, tomorrow they will pack your load. You are happy. See this, they won't come repair the road. Before you know that, when you are coming back next tomorrow, you didn't see anybody again.
The contract for the reconstruction of the Abuja-Lokoja-Benin Expressway, divided into 4 sections, was first awarded in 2012 for 121 billion naira. However, 12 years later, the project has stalled for several reasons. In April 2024, the current Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, spearheaded the signing of a new contract by contractors after the project was reviewed upwards to over 870 billion naira. While some contractors were on site at different segments of the road, the story remains much the same for drivers, residents and travelers who contend with physical and mental stress due to the road's state. From the Abuja-Lokoja Highway, Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV News.
Laundry operators in Imo State say they are facing significant challenges to persistent power outages in the state. According to them, their businesses are struggling to stay afloat as a result of epileptic power supply, lamenting that they can no longer rely on them as a stable source of income. Trust TV's Ajibade Awefeso has the story.
The laundry business owners, while sharing their struggles with newsmen, explained that a major part of their earnings now go towards purchasing fuel for generators, leaving them with little or no savings.
Even to deliver your work, you have to make many expenses, and sometimes you can't even charge from the work you are doing because your customers also have challenges to pay up because they are also facing the economic challenges. So
there's a lot of difficulties in laundry work. So there are a lot of difficulties, having a lot of problems. Fuel rises, increasement of prices and other things. Like in case of fuel, they have high fuel to 1,000. So and other things like detergent we use and whatever.
As Nigerian situation, everybody knows that Nigeria is having a challenge. So even the work we are doing, so it's not easy for us. We are having a challenge of fuel. Before we are buying fuel, 80 to 99 cents something. So we are doing it has not been easy for us.
The affected individuals lamented that both the federal and state governments have not done enough to address the issues of power shortage.
For us, the youth of this country, so we try our best and doing our possible best to keep the thing, but the government still insists of increasing and whatever. Every day you wake up, every time, every particular day, things are getting higher and higher. So we have to try our best in making the country better.
So even customers said that they are even complaining when you are even increasing your prices about the they are still complaining. So we are just managing ourselves, give everything to go until the day the government is changed, but we cannot change them. So that's the issue.
Okay. The economy has triggered the increase in a lot of things used in working, like the fuel price, the prices of goods, even to deliver your work, you have to make many expenses.
Despite their frustration, they remain hopeful that the government will fulfill its promises to improve their livelihoods through improved power supply. They urge the government to take concrete steps to alleviate the hardship faced by the masses. Ajibade Awofeso, Trust TV News, Owerri.
The Adama State Executive Council has approved the construction of 4 blocks of hostels at the Nigeria Law School campus in Yola at over 855 million naira with a completion period of 12 weeks. The weekly State Executive Council meeting was presided over by Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri at the Council Chamber, Government House, Yola. Addressing journalists, Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Ilya James, noted that the council decided to cushion the suffering of students, particularly the accommodation deficit in the law school, which is domiciled in the state.
The 13th State Executive Council of Adama State award the contract for the construction of state intervention for 4 hostel blocks at Nigeria Law School, Yola, at the cost of 855,247,976 naira 81 kobo, with a completion period of 12 weeks, and the contract is awarded to 3 contractors, namely Sisila Investment General Contract Limited.
Welcome back. Let's join Yusuf Agogu for business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. Banks borrowing from the Central Bank of Nigeria standing lending facility fell by 76.4% month-on-month in August from 17.12 trillion naira in July. Details of figures contained in the CBN financial data show that the bank's deposit in the CBN standing facility grew by 270.7% month-on-month to 8.12 trillion naira from 2.19 trillion naira in July. This development indicates that banks are having idle funds in their system and businesses are not accessing such funds due to the increase in borrowing rate as a result of increase in the monetary policy rate. This is coming on the back of CBN's recent increment in the rate for the SDF as part of its ongoing effort to discourage banks from holding excess liquidity at the CBN and to promote increased lending activities. Banks credit to private sector rose month-on-month by about 3.1% or 2.2 trillion naira to 75.5 trillion naira in July 2024 from 73.2 trillion naira recorded in June this year. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria showed that year-on-year CPS rose 34% in July 2024 from 56.46 trillion naira in the corresponding period of 2023. Former President, Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Olatude Amolegbe, said the growth in credit to private sector could be attributable to increase in economic activity. Chief Executive Officer, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Muda Yusuf, said the credit outlook remains cautious, calling for expansive distribution of credit across all types of companies and sectors. The CPS include loans, trade credit, and other account receivables and support provided by banks to the private sector within the period. NGS reversed gains of previous trading sessions amidst buying interest and sell-offs as BS dominate proceedings. Let's see how it went down today. Owando Nigerian PLC lead the losers. They're down 10% to close at 81 naira and 90 kobo per share. Of course, TPLC also there 9.95% to close at 1 naira and 81 kobo per share. Of course, RT Briscoe also lost 9.72% to close at 2 naira and 60 kobo per share. Of course, this has dragged down the market downward by 0.35%. Volume of trade 383.79 million shares shares valued at 8.112 billion naira in a list of 11,901 lead exchanges among investors. The top trading equities in terms of volume, Oando Nigeria PLC leader table 37.16 million shares traded, Universal Insurance Company 32.43 million shares, of course Transcorp 28.02 million shares traded as well. Of course, some equities recorded gain despite the negative closure of the market. Dacom leader table 10% gain to close at 66 kobo per share. Of course, IMG also up 9.72% to close at 35 naira per share. Of course, Deep Cap also gained 9.52% to close at 1 naira and 15 kobo per share there. And that's the highlight of stock trading as it went down this Wednesday on the floor of NGS. Let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. Oil prices fall to their lowest level in 9 months on Wednesday on concerns about demand and potential supply increases. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $73 per barrel. For the OPEC basket, the price drops to $77 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
President Bola Tinubu says Africa holds vast opportunities for investments, growth, and development with a vibrant population, productive economy, and natural resources. He spoke on Wednesday in Beijing at a bilateral meeting with the Chinese Premier. President Tinubu called for a strategic focus on areas of collaboration that will ensure that the relationship between Nigeria and China remains mutually beneficial. The Nigerian president commended the role of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in advancing partnership between Africa and China for mutual development and prosperity. The Chinese premier, on his part, gave assurances that China is ready to work with Nigeria. He underscored China's resolve to deliver on the mutual understanding reached by President Xi Jinping and President Tinubu under the recently
The strategic partnership should result in our regional development goals. Peace, stability, security in West Africa is very, very crucial. Nigeria remains committed to our economic development, forthright, non-aligned, and we are on the path to economic reforms that will engender growth. We believe that you have reformed the Chinese economy, and our program too is on that course. I am a reformer.
President Bola Tinubu in China speaking at the bilateral meeting between Nigeria and China. Still on the foreign scene, a boat carrying migrants capsized off the Libyan coast on Tuesday, leaving 1 person dead and 22 missing. Libyan authorities said the latest sea tragedy involving migrants seeking a better life in Europe. The Coast Guard in the eastern Libyan town of Tobruk said the boat was carrying 32 migrants, adding that 9 had been rescued. Survivors have been taken to a port in Tobruk, the Coast Guard said. The boat sailed from the Bab al-Zaytun area, 15 kilometers east of Tobruk, according to the Abrin, a local aid group. The boat capsized after its engine suffered a mechanical failure, the group says, and the supports migrants in eastern Libya. The group said the migrants on the boat were from Egypt and Syria, adding that the 9 survivors were taken to a hospital. Time on to join Emmanuel Fashemi for the latest in sports.
Tickets for Saturday's 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match between the Super Eagles and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium Uyo will go on sale on Friday. While the VIP tickets will go for 3,000 naira each, fans who opt for the regular stands will pay 1,000 naira. According to the NFF Marketing and Sponsorship Department, match ticket sales points include Uyo Township Stadium, Government Primary School Obio Otoy, Memories FM, NS Bassi Street, Ikot Akpanebia, Inspiration FM Udo Doma, and the Choice Shopping Plaza. Other sales points will be designated by Thursday. Saturday's cracker, which is a match day one encounter in the race for the finals, will kick off at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) has moved the date of Week 1 matches in the 2024-2025 season. According to a circular to the clubs, there will be no league games on Saturday, which is Super Eagles match day. All matches will now be played on the 8th of September, except Lobby Stars versus Aqua United, which is now scheduled for 9th of September 2024. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
Sports news concludes this edition of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. Thank you for watching. I'm Muhammad Kudu Abubakar.